We are going to hack your house today. I think there are some simple changes that you can make that are gonna make a huge difference, especially as we head into fall. And then we know it is just a slippery slope to the holidays, right? Well, hi, I'm Dawn from The Minimal Mom. If we haven't met before, I'm married to Tom and we have 4 kids ages 8 through 13. And we've been minimalist for about 8 years, but you don't have to be a minimalist to want to make your house function really well and to work for you and not against you, right? And so today I'm gonna share my top tips for hacking your house. We're gonna get started in the kitchen, but my favorites are actually, I'm torn, but the bathroom and the closet. These are gonna be mind-blowing, life-changing. So why don't we just go ahead and get started? Okay, I'm gonna move through these ones in the kitchen pretty quickly because if we've spent any amount of time together, you might have already heard them, but have you done them yet? This is a really good reminder. Okay, so I actually asked my membership group for their input on all of these hacks, and this one came up over and over and over. If you are not storing your food storage containers with the lids on, would you just try it? Would you just humor us? No, they don't get smelly, they don't get moisture trapped inside, none of the things that you're worried about. It actually works really well. And then when you go to grab a container, the lid's already on. You don't have to try and store lids separately. You can't keep as many, which is actually a good thing. You have too many already, I promise. So give it a try, storing your food storage containers with the lids on. But not just that, also do it with your water bottles and travel mugs, sippy cups, bottles, everything that has a lid, store it with it on. It is so much easier. Oh, and once you get all the containers matched up and you realize all the extra lids you have, permission to throw those away. And as long as we're over here, I love this hack to store stuff where you use it. So for me, this is where I make my coffee in the morning. And so I have a bin that has the stuff that I mix into my coffee right here. We have one small container of supplements. Now the catch though, don't keep the duplicates or the extras here. We don't have room for that, right? Just the stuff you use all the time, keep it handy. Okay, next we're gonna move everything off of your kitchen counters. I expect some pushback on this one, right? What about the dish drying rack or the knife block or the utensil caddy or the toaster or the coffee maker? Okay, we do let our coffee maker sit out still. I promise you, it'll be so much easier to keep your kitchen clean and tidy if you have all of the counters cleared off. It'll feel a little weird at first, but then you are going to love it. And our kitchen is very small and I've been able to fit everything within the cupboards and cabinets, right? So you might have to move some stuff out that you're not using, but you're not actually gonna miss it anyways. And this, of course, is still one of my favorites, make your own drawer. So lower cabinets are kind of the worst, aren't they? Stuff gets lost in the back, we forget about it, stuff doesn't fit well. So find a plastic bin or container that fits the space really well, and we're gonna use this like a drawer. There are some nice pull-out drawer option things you can buy on Amazon, super great, but they're a little more expensive and they require some installation. So instead, we can just use a bin. We can put our stuff in there that's known to kind of fall in back. And now it's super easy to see what we have and it never gets lost in the back. I've been using this here for a while, but I want to show you one other place where this works really well too. Okay, so this cabinet right here is one of those awkward L-shaped ones. And so this is another perfect spot to find some bins that really fit this area well. And so I love this one. We keep all of our like cooking oils and everything in here. Before they were getting pushed around the corner, they were tipping over. And then I also have some baskets that fit in the rest of the space as well. So find a container that fits and make your own drawers. It works so much better. And no matter what season of life you're in, I feel really strongly that your kitchen should match it. Your kitchen should match the type of cooking that you're doing right now. So if you're not doing a lot of hosting and entertaining, we might need to move the fancy dishes out or the extra placemats and tablecloths and linens and that kind of stuff. It might just be for a season. So this can change and fluctuate, but for most of us, the real estate in our kitchen is very valuable. So we don't want it filled up with stuff that's not currently serving us and making our life easier. You really can have a kitchen that you love and is easy to keep clean, but you can't keep all of the things in it if that's what you really want. All right, now we're gonna come back in here in a few minutes and talk about some meal planning hacks. But first, let's head to your closet and talk about how you can hack getting dressed in the morning. Okay, this is probably my favorite tip of the entire video. And just so you know, this video is part of a collaboration with Get Organized HQ. Did you know you can get a free ticket to their whole organizing conference? It's all virtual. You can watch it live or on demand, but you can watch it completely free. And I'll be doing a session, Cass does, Dana, lots of your favorites, but also a great opportunity to meet some new friends to follow as well. So I'm gonna put all the details down below, but again, it is completely free, and this is the perfect time to be getting our house organized and getting some new systems in place. Okay, so why do we hack things? We hack things because we're busy and we're tired and we're overwhelmed and there's just so much going on all of the time, right? If you will try this out, I don't think you'll ever go back. You can if you want to, but what if when you opened your closet in the morning, all you saw was a week's worth of outfits, everything fit, and that you feel good in it. And you literally could just look at it and be like, this is Monday, this is Tuesday. And so I love what Julie said. She said, the minimal wardrobe has been a lifesaver. Less inventory, less laundry, and you can change it seasonally. Carly says, a minimal wardrobe so that everything is an actual option for today and laundry never gets piled up. So let me show you how this works, and then I have a couple other hacks you need to do to your closet as well. All right, so this is kind of like creating a uniform, a capsule wardrobe. It's along the lines of Project 333, but what if you just decided once what you're gonna wear for the week, and then that's just what you saw? So what if it literally was like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday's a little more casual, Sunday's a little more dressy, and a dress for when I actually need a dress. How good would it feel to walk up to your closet and only see this? Now, we could look at it the other way and be like, oh, that's too limiting. Oh, I like options. If you are really busy right now, if you are feeling anxious, overwhelmed, tired, I really want you to try this out. We need to minimize the amount of decision making that we need to do. That is the biggest hack of all. And so decide once, have it all laid out. If occasionally you want to swap something out, fine, whatever. But you will not believe how much easier this makes your morning and getting dressed, and it works really well for your kids too. All right, and then there's also a couple bins that we want to, you know how I love bins, right? A couple bins that we want to add to your closet as well. One is for donations. So every closet in your house should have a donation bin right in it. You take something off, it doesn't fit well, it goes right into the donation box. And then in kids' rooms, I also recommend having an outgrown one. So as kids outgrow stuff, a lot of times that stuff just gets like mixed back in, and it's just, most of us don't have a good system for it. So have a bin also for outgrown items in there, and then they can go straight in there, and then you can deal with them every so often. And if you're like, I really want to try this out, but it just feels extreme, I don't know, that's where the Time Will Tell bin is super handy. So grab a Rubbermaid tote, put Time Will Tell on it and today's date, throw everything in there that doesn't fit right now, that you don't feel good in, that's not right for the season, it's a little too dressy, it's a little too casual, whatever the reason is that you have not been wearing it, toss it in, set it aside, and just see if you actually miss it. Test this out. I think you're gonna love this. I don't think you're ever actually gonna go back to having tons of clothing and clothes on the floor and piled on the chair and in the dresser and on top of the closet and all the things, right? I think you're actually really gonna like this a lot. All right, let's head to the bathroom now. All right, now let's hack your bathroom cabinet. There's 3 containers that can make a world of difference. Okay, so one is a small Time Will Tell bin that you keep in your bathroom if you have room for it. You could keep it somewhere else too, but for me, this is the place where I keep duplicates, so like extra boxes of contacts, my mineral foundation that I like to wear, extra toothbrushes, all the extras go in here. We just know if you're looking for something, look in here first before you buy something, right? But it's also my Time Will Tell stuff. Like, am I going to use the hyaluronic collagen sheet mask? I don't know, right? But it's not an everyday item, so I didn't want it taking up space in the drawers, and so I toss it in here. This was an extra mascara. It came in a 2-pack. I didn't really like the first one, and so I'm like, ugh, what? I mean, maybe in a pinch I would use this, but not every day, right? And so I just tossed it in here. And we're also using the container concept because we're only gonna keep what comfortably fits in here. And if there's more, I know that I can't possibly keep track of it. I would never remember anything more than that, right? Also, what is this? I don't know. It's some little like oil, right? Will I use it? I don't know. It seemed expensive. I didn't want to just throw it away. So I put it in the Time Will Tell bin, and then I will collect data. Time will tell me if I actually miss this stuff and want it or not. All All right, so this guy I keep right back here, right? And then this one, I'm still really proud of this. So this is how I keep all of my styling tools. So this is just a container from Target, and then in the middle, I used a cutting board from the dollar store to kind of create a divider. But all of my hairstyling tools stand up really well in here. It's easy to grab them, and more importantly, easy to put them back away. So this goes here. And then I love this tip from Edna. She says to have a getting ready bin. So she says, I use a small container for all of my getting ready for the day items. Face wash, lotion, toothpaste, toothbrush, vitamins, etc. all in the container. I store it on a shelf under my bathroom sink. Pull the container out, use the items, then put the whole container back under the sink again. And so I think that is such a brilliant idea. And so you can just grab a bin, fits the size of your stuff, depending on how much, how fancy you are, how much stuff you use to get ready. And then how easy is it to just set that right down there? This probably isn't the most ideal bin, maybe style, but find one that fits your stuff really well, and how easy then to pull it in and out, get ready for the day, and then tuck it back away. I think that's a brilliant idea. All right, let's talk a few laundry room hacks and then we'll move on to meal planning. I love what Emily says. She says, order things on subscription. That way you don't have to be reminding yourself when things like laundry detergent are getting low. And so we just use the Molly's suds and it works fine. I don't know if you have any other recommendations. I'm always willing to try it, but it's set up on subscription. I can adjust it if we start to get too much or too little, but I actually kind of have it dialed in now. And so I really like that. Fly Lady says a load a day keeps the laundry monster away, something like that. We've been doing a load a day for at least 8 years now. I can't imagine doing laundry any other way. The exception being if you have a laundry room that's maybe in a basement or a garage or somehow it's detached or it's not super convenient, then maybe having a laundry day. But I mean, if laundry day works for you, you do you, man. But I hear from so many women that a load a day really does keep the laundry monster away. But most importantly, we don't feel stressed out and overwhelmed by it. All right, now another one of my favorite hacks is when we added these bins to our laundry room. So this is the same size that I just showed you for making a drawer in the kitchen. I also love them in the laundry room because they are like the perfect size for one load of laundry, at least in our house. So we have 4 of them. One's white for whites, one's black for blacks. Everything else we commingle and wash on cold. But it makes it really easy for the kids to do laundry because you basically just dump one of these into the washing machine. And it's also easy to gauge if we're getting behind or not. Once these start filling up, it's like, okay, we have about 4 loads of laundry to do. That's never overwhelming though, right? And so I really like having these in here. Plus you're never like fishing stuff out of the bottom of the hamper. Isn't that the worst? The stuff that like just always gets down there that nobody wants to wash. We don't ever have that going on. Oh, and I almost forgot. We keep all of the kids' socks and Tom's socks in here. It used to be because it was close to the entryway, and so it was easy to get socks on if we were headed out the door. Now it's just super easy to sort when it comes out of the dryer, and so we have just kept them in here, and it works so well. Oh man, do you get shoes overtaking your entryway? I love this hack to only let each person in your house have 2 pairs. 2 pairs in the entryway. That's it. They're welcome to have more pairs of shoes. They just have to keep them in their bedroom or somewhere else, not here in the entryway. That will make a huge difference for being able to keep this space tidy and not always be tripping over shoes. Okay, so let's talk meal planning. What's for dinner tonight, right? I love what Crystal said. She said having a regular, simple meal rotation and occasionally making something else. Making twice the amount and freezing the other amount for an easy dinner. And of course, meal planning. Annie says list of 20 to 25 dinner ideas. And so what I think can be really helpful to have like a hectic week meal plan. And so this is a very basic, very easy, like easy of easiest meal plan that is your go-to when the week is just crazy, when it is jam-packed and you don't know when you're gonna have time to cook. And so we have this like wild week meal plan, and it could include chicken nuggets and frozen broccoli, and it can, if it needs to have frozen pizza on it or whatever, right? But we just plan for it. And then other weeks we can mix in things that are maybe take a little longer, a little healthier, or all the other things that we're desiring to mix into our meal plan, right? But I think it's really helpful if we're just realistic going into the week, like, hey, what kind of week is it? And if we just know it's gonna be off the rails, then let's just give ourselves a break with the meal plan, have it be very simple and not try and stress ourselves out too much. And I love this what Pamela said. So she said, I love your thing of having one go-to meal and one bundt cake that you default to for potlucks, hosting, or celebrations. Feeling overwhelmed by options, indecision, or not feeling like a good enough cook meant I felt like I couldn't take part or have something to offer. You showing that you don't need to be confident about being able to provide everything to have one dish or cake that you make repeatedly and get good at was a relief. And so what Pamela is talking about is if we're hosting or going somewhere where we're expected to contribute to like a main course, we always bring chicken tacos. I love it because you can make it dairy-free, gluten-free. You can't make it vegan, but like all the other things, people can decide what they're gonna mix in, put on top, spicy, not spicy. So we have chicken tacos. That is absolutely our go-to. And then for dessert, I'll either make a bundt cake or chocolate chip cookie bars. It is just like, that is just what we always do. I know the recipes inside and out. I know how long they take to cook. I know the exact ingredients that I need to have on hand. And I feel very confident that whenever we bring it, these items are always enjoyed. And so you can have some standard go-tos. In fact, Carrie said, it's okay to be in a season of making the same things for family events. And so sometimes we put this pressure that it needs to be unique, it needs to fit the theme of the party or the season we're in. It doesn't actually have to, right? We can have these standard go-tos, and if we want to do something a little fancier or different because we have the time and bandwidth, then that's great. We can do that. But most of the time, 90% of the time, if you come over to our house for a get-together, be ready for chicken tacos and a bundt cake. But I mean, it's good, right? Like it still tastes really good. And I love this hack from Jenny too. She says, decide once. Like Meatless Monday, Taco Tuesday, I don't know what's Wednesday supposed to be. I don't know, right? So you can decide how you want to structure the week, but having some kind of prompt like that is really helpful. And then Angela has a great idea. It's to add the expiration dates of foods to your calendar. So she says, I don't remember where I got it, but when I'm unpacking the groceries from the supermarket, I write the name of the food and the expiry date on my calendar. This influences what I cook and means no food gets lost at the back of the fridge. I love that. We like to think we can remember these things, but often we can't. Carly says a minimal menu so meals are predictable and easy to prepare. And then Janice talked about batch cooking. And you know, I know a lot of us would like to batch cook or freezer cook or all of this. I don't like pulling like a whole casserole out of the freezer. I don't know. They've never been my favorite. It's probably just I haven't found the right recipes. But what I do like batching or cooking extra of is the protein, the meat. So if I'm making taco meat and I'm making a pound or a pound and a half, why not make 2 or 3 pounds? If I'm cooking chicken, I always just get the big family pack of chicken breasts and then I cook it all up, and often I'll shred it all up or I'll dice up some extra. And so I don't always like to double the dinner recipes I'm making, but absolutely I love to double the protein, because you know, if you have the meat cooked in the fridge all ready to go for your next meal, that is like 2/3 of the work done, right? And the mess, we only have the mess once. So I think the real tip here is knowing yourself and how do you like to batch or bulk cook. Okay, let's talk about paper real quick. My favorite tip is from Marie Kondo. She said, our goal of paper is to not keep any of it. So we sort stuff when we're coming into the house, we recycle and shred things. Calendar events go right into our calendar. But what about the important docs we do need to keep? Lori says, I keep a fire-safe bag with all important documents. Our inventory is low and I or anyone else can easily locate anything. So you could have a fire-safe bag. We have a safe, and then within it, I have this red Vital Docs folder where I just put the most important things. So if we ever had to leave in a hurry, we could grab this and we would know all the things that are the most difficult to replace would be in here. I would also recommend getting a set of Velcro cord organizers. I got these not that long ago and I've been using them on everything. So for cords, yes, they work great. They keep them super organized and nice. Also, even like this, a curling iron I don't use very often, it's perfect. It's so neat and tidy now. But on other things too, like I didn't know how to keep these hangers. I wanted to keep them for the camper, but they were just kept going everywhere, right? And so I just put some Velcro cord hangers on the end. We are all set. They are nice and neat and tidy together. And so they come in lots of different sizes. You can get even different colors too. But these have been so helpful to have around the house. All right, down here I keep all of my labeling stuff. I'm not a type A organized person, but I do know that our brains love labels, and so does Adrienne. She says, outside of minimizing to a manageable level, I found labeling things to be a game changer. Did I know where those things were before? Yes, but labeling makes things so automatic, especially with a tired and stressed brain. I label everything now. It is so true. I used to push back against labeling. It just felt like, well, because nothing ever stayed in its place, and then I just felt like a loser because I had these labels and the things weren't even there. But you will find, especially as you continue to reduce the inventory in your home, that labeling just reminds your brain, oh, that goes there, that goes there. And it's very easy to tell when things are out of place as well. And it also makes it so we don't have to organize twice. So especially in closets and pantries and office areas, if that thing gets taken out of an area, Adrian can remember. I don't always remember what goes back there, but if we have a label, then we know what belongs there, and the rest of our family does too. And I think probably one of the oldest hacks of all time is what Heather says. My biggest thing is that every single thing must have a home, and everyone that lives in my house needs to know where that home is. Candace says a similar thing. Designate a home for each item in your house. If you use that item, put it back in its home. It sounds so simple, but it's so important. It is so simple. It's one of our most basic principles for our house, but it does take time and reducing the overall inventory so that we really can find a home for each and everything that we use. But what was actually most fascinating to me about all of the comments that I got in our membership group was that the bulk were actually about simplifying our calendars and finding motivation. So many were like Allison and said fewer kid activities, less running around keeps us all calmer and our house more peaceful. And I love this from Mary. She says, my best help personally is to remember Courtney Carver's advice to just say no if I'm in doubt. It's easier to take back a no than to take back a yes. I thought that was so good. Lori says, in our marriage mentoring, we suggest a weekly marriage staff meeting. Isn't that good to call it a staff meeting? But also having a family staff meeting go over the coming week so everyone is on the same page, and with what is happening in events and schedules, etc., is important too. This would also be a good time to meal plan. Everyone can pick a meal they would like to have. I think that's so good. Stacy says, for me as a full-time working mom, I tell myself that my day is not over until dinner is prepared, cleaned up, and items ready for the next day. I don't sit down to relax until those things are done. They are part of my workday. I don't clock out before that. Now, I think that sounds awesome, and I think many of us would like to, but what if we're just not feeling the energy for it, right? And that's where so many of the comments also were about 5 minutes matters. I've talked about that a little bit here, but in our mentorship group, it is our mantra, 5 minutes matters. So if you are lacking motivation, lacking energy, lacking time, physical capabilities, 5 minutes overcomes all of those obstacles. It gets us up and gets us going. So I know if at the end of the day, you're just like, I don't feel like cleaning up the kitchen, set the timer for 5 minutes. And I also like these tips too. Background music. Connie says background music, and Emily says too, to turn off the TV or the background noise and peel away that extra layer of sensory overload. We live in a very overstimulated world, so sometimes we need to quiet it all down and then turn on some music that gets our energy going. Connie also says that a few outdoor breaks during the day, even just 2 minutes to look up and breathe in fresh air, can be really helpful. I 1000% agree with that. We tend to get very focused on what's right in front of us, and we can start to feel very overwhelmed and anxious throughout the day. And it is scientifically proven that if we will go outside, see things that are bigger, much bigger than ourselves, trees, the sky, clouds, that it actually helps us to put things back in perspective. So I think that is such a great hack as well. And then finally, of course, we have to talk about simplifying, because the truth is that if your house is overwhelming you pretty consistently, then chances are you need to reduce the inventory. Brooklyn says, I think just a minimized house is the best way to have a stress-free home. We don't run around looking for lost things when we leave the house because everything has a home. Kimberly says, minimize for a shorter, silent to-do list. Again, we remember all of this stuff in our house is telling us things we have to do: clean me, pick me up, organize me, don't forget about me. And so by reducing our inventory, our silent to-do list is so much less. I love this from Jamie too. She says, get rid of flat surfaces that you don't need. They will pile up with stuff. Isn't that so good? We've definitely done that in our house too. And I love this observation from Charlotte. She says, what makes a home stressful? Everything everywhere all at once. Too much to do, too much stuff, too high expectations. Validate that you are only one human and you need to take care of yourself and that you can't make all stress go away. It's just a sign of overwhelm. Simplify wherever possible. Possessions, cleaning schedule, to-do list, meals, getting ready, etc. And I really do hope that this is encouraging to you. So anything that I mentioned here in this video, I'm going to try and link to it down below, as well as some other videos that can help you declutter your house, because it's nearly impossible to have a home that functions well and works for us if it has too much stuff in it, right? Clutter is just stressful. We can't get away from it. And I would love to hear your best hacks down below as well. And then that link down there for your free ticket to the Get Organized HQ event will be down there as well. It would be super fun to see you. And it's also a great opportunity for you to get to meet and to get introduced to other creators who talk about decluttering and organization and home management stuff as well. So it's a really fun event. So that will be down below as well. But I love you. I hope you have a really good day, and I'll see you again soon.